Let's break it down. Suppose that in this position, white has just played queen to g4. Black responds naturally, doubling rooks with rook to d8. At first glance, everything looks perfectly solid for black. The king is castled, both rooks are connected, the queen's bishop guards the long diagonal, and every piece seems to be doing its job. If you were sitting behind the black pieces right now, you would probably feel comfortable. So let me ask you a question. If you were playing white here, what would you do? Most players would look for a quiet, improving move. Maybe double rooks on the d-file. Maybe reposition the bishop. After all, there is no reason to force anything when your position is already better. But Garry Kasparov saw something that almost nobody else at that level would have seen. Instead of a quiet move, he played queen takes d7. Yes, he simply gave away his queen. Black, of course, recaptures immediately with rook takes d7. And I imagine if this happened in one of our own games, we would already be celebrating. We just want a queen for nothing, right? But chess, at this level, is never that simple. From this exact moment, every single move Kasparov plays comes with a threat. A check. A discovered attack. A piece invading with tempo. Black's king, which looked so safe just a few moves ago, is about to be hunted down piece by piece. How we got here? Kasparov opens with d4. Karpov replies with knight to f6. White continues with c4, and after nc3, black plays the sharp bishop to b4, the Nimzo-Indian Defense, one of the most respected systems in all of chess. Kasparov develops naturally with knight to f3, and black castles. White pins the knight with bishop to g5, and black strikes in the center with c5. After e3, black captures on d4. White recaptures, and black plays the useful move h6, gaining a tempo on the bishop. Kasparov retreats to h4, and black opens the center completely with d5. White develops the rook to c1, and after dxc4, white simply recaptures with the bishop. Black completes development with knight to c6, white castles, and black plays bishop to e7. Now Kasparov brings his rook to e1, and black continues with the natural b6, followed by bishop to b7, fighting for the long diagonal. White improves the bishop to a3, black doubles rooks with rook to c8, and Kasparov quietly repositions the bishop to a2, tucking it safely out of any tactics. Black plays bishop to d6, attacking the bishop on g3. And here comes the key structural decision of the entire game. White pushes d5. The turning point. This pawn push is not just a space-gaining move. It opens the position at exactly the right moment. Black captures with the knight, and white recaptures with the other knight on d5. Black trades on g3. White recaptures with the h-pawn, and now black is forced to take on d5 with the pawn. Kasparov recaptures with the bishop. Notice what has happened. White's bishop now sits on d5, staring directly at black's king, supported by the queen and ready to join any future attack. Black tries to create counterplay with queen to f6, but Kasparov is not interested in defending. He improves his position with queen to a4, forcing black to react. Black brings the rook to d8. White doubles on the d-file with rook to d1, and black follows with rook to d7, defending along the 7th rank. And now we reach our starting position, the sacrifice. Kasparov plays queen to g4. Black responds with rook to c8, moving the second rook to d8, keeping everything defended. At this point, everything still looks under control for black. But Kasparov has already calculated far ahead. He plays the shocking move. Queen takes d7. He is giving away the strongest piece on the board, on purpose. Black has no real choice. Rook takes d7. Now white strikes immediately. Rook to e8. Check. The black king has only one square. King to h7. And this is where the real point of the sacrifice reveals itself. Bishop to e4, check. Black is forced to weaken the king further with g6, blocking the check. Kasparov does not slow down for a moment. Rook takes d7, removing black's remaining active piece and grabbing more material. Black tries one last attempt at counterplay with bishop to a6, hoping to create some threat of his own. But it is far too late. Kasparov simply captures the knight with bishop takes c6. Black recaptures with queen takes c6. And now comes the final blow. Rook takes f7. Checkmate. The lesson. Look at what actually happened here. Kasparov did not sacrifice his queen to win material back immediately. He sacrificed it because it removed Black's key defender on d7 and opened a direct highway straight to the king. From the moment the queen disappeared from the board, every single white move came with a threat that Black was forced to answer. A check. Another check. A piece invading with tempo. Black never had a single free move to organize any real defense. This is the true idea behind a real queen sacrifice. It is never about the material. It is about what happens to the king once the material is gone. Practical advice. The next time you are attacking and you see a chance to give up material for activity, do not ask yourself, can I afford to lose this piece? Ask yourself, after this sacrifice, will every one of my remaining pieces be working together with tempo? If the answer is yes, the sacrifice is usually correct, even if it looks frightening on the board. Ending. This game was played in the 1985 World Championship between Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov, two of the greatest players who ever lived. And it shows us that even at the very highest level, the player willing to give up material for a forced attack is often the one who walks away with the full point. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more real World Championship combinations explained this way, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode.